In April 1815, a thunder you couldn't outrun rumbled from the heart of Indonesia. Mount Tambora erupted with a force no one alive had ever seen. Imagine an explosion so fierce it shattered an entire mountain, darkened the skies, and echoed 2,000 kilometers away. Ash didn't just blanket villages, it climbed into the stratosphere, forming a veil around the planet. Over 70,000 lives were lost in Sumbawa, but that was only the beginning. Tambora hurled a staggering 160 cubic kilometers of ash and sulfur high above the clouds. The world changed in silence. Sunlight faded, global temperatures plummeted by up to 3 degrees. In early 1816, the world blinked at a dimmer sun. June brought snow to New England. In Europe, lakes froze deep into spring. Crops wouldn't grow, and still no one understood the true cause. They called it the year without a summer. Across continents, disaster struck. In North America, snowstorms in June buried young crops. In Canada, July lakes wore a skin of ice. Desperate families abandoned homesteads, trekking west in search of warmth and food. Europe fared no better. Grain riots shook Switzerland. Irish fields drowned and rotted. Typhus swept through weakened communities. In Asia, the monsoon failed. Famine and cholera stalked millions. The world seemed to teeter on the edge. Yet even amid darkness, sparks of creativity ignited. On the rain-soaked shores of Lake Geneva, Mary Shelley, Byron and Percy Shelley passed haunted evenings by firelight. As the unnatural cold pressed in, Mary conjured a story of a scientist who dared to play God. From fog and fear, Frankenstein was born. By 1817, sunlight crept back, but the aftershocks lasted years. Famine in Europe stoked unrest and revolution. In America, waves of migration redrew the map. In Asia, hunger and disease reshaped nations. Generations later, scientists pieced it together. Tambora's eruption had rewritten the climate, cooling every continent. That single volcano became a warning, an example of how nature's fury can ripple across the globe. Today, we study Tambora not just as a disaster, but as a blueprint for understanding volcanic winters, even nuclear threats. And Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? It endures, a Gothic echo of our fear and awe of nature's power. 1816 stands as a monument to chaos and creativity, a year when shadows fell. But from the darkness, warnings and wonders emerged.